Hey everyone, Mark the Movie Man here. Welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today as we take a look at an independent sci-fi thriller called Parallel. Now, Parallel is brought to us by director Isaac Isban and written by Scott Blazek. And basically, we get the story of four friends who run a app programming company that they are just on the verge of getting their big break, the big contract, but their client sets an unreasonable deadline. Well, as they're trying to figure out how they're going to try to meet this deadline and not lose this contract, they run across a mirror in their house that opens, that's a portal to multiverse. Yeah, basically alternate versions of the reality that they normally live in. And soon they discover a way to use this multiverse mirror to reach the deadline that they need. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility, and they are irresponsible as they soon use the multiverse technology and other items in the other alternate universes to better themselves here financially and, career-wise as well. But they learn that exploiting the multiverse does have some deadly consequences. This was a lot of fun. I didn't know much going into it. I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, I'm interested. And I thought the way they handled the multiverse angle was very interesting. One, visually, cinematography-wise, you know which world you're in just by the way they shoot it and the colors they use. I thought it was a great visual cue to let you know when they're visiting an alternate universe and when they're in their own. And so they play with that very well and help give the audience visual cues so you know where the characters are. As far as the special effects go, they don't use a huge amount of them, but when they do, they're very effective, I thought, where they, especially in the climax. In the climax, there's a wonderful special effect in here involving a practical effect that I loved. It would just surprise me that they went there with it, and it was great. I really enjoyed a lot of the special effects in here. It's an interesting mixture of thriller, and it gets to dark subject matters and raises some questions on what would you do if you had access to a multiverse and could exploit it for your own gain. And so they explore a lot of those things. What's also I found interesting is I felt like the representation of the seven deadly sins was in here. First, you have Georgia King as Lena, who was fantastic in the film. She plays this artist and the sole female of the group, but she ends up taking art and exploiting it that she discovers in the alternate universe for herself here. So there's kind of envy and sloth going on, and some other identifiers too that you could see throughout this film. Martin Wahlstrom plays Noel, and I did not expect him to go where they went with his character, and man, does he just go all in. I loved his performance as the Noel character and seeing how he changes over the course of the film. We've got Mark O'Brien in here as Josh, who's your stereotypical woman's, ladies' man. He's very suave with the ladies. He runs around a lot, and I liked his performance. Though it was a little bit more cookie cutter as we've seen in some other films. And then Amel Amin, who I really found this character interesting because outside the other characters, it felt like this character is looking for healing and closure through the use of the alternate realities. And so his motivation is different, or it felt different than the other characters. So I thought it was just an interesting mix of characters that they put together for this situation. The world building they did was great. They don't get too heavy into the technobabble, but at the same time, they compose enough for you so you buy into this, which you need to do. And yeah, I did not expect them to go where they did in the ending. I think this is worth a watch. It's out on VOD now. It's not breaking any really new ground here, but where they do go and what they do present is very entertaining, except the very, very end, like the last few minutes of this film, it got really tropish and cliche. I mean, it didn't take me out of it, but I had wished they had chose a different angle to go with for the very final couple minutes. But other than that, Parallel, I think, is worth your time, especially if you're looking for some good indie sci-fi out there. This is one of those films. So there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for listening to me babble about Parallel. I appreciate you all. Check out our Patreon if you get a chance to. Got a lot of great stuff there. Hit subscribe, thumbs up, and all that here. And if you're not doing anything, on December 19th, 18th or 19th, head on over to the Central Wisconsin Area Community Theater's Facebook page. They're doing a Facebook Live broadcast of It's a Wonderful Life. It's a radio play, and I had a chance to be a part of it. And yeah, check it out. Anyone who has Facebook can go there, check out the Facebook. I'll put a link down below here for a link to that. And yeah, a lot of talented people were involved in it and trying to make something in this time of COVID. So thank you for your support. And until next time, remember, folks, keep that ticket stub.